Welcome to Maddog Gaming, and today's review is going to be of the graphical adventure from 1992 entitled The Adventures of Maddog Williams in the Dungeons of Duridian. So it's developed and published by Game Crafters and is a single-player graphic adventure where you assume the role of Maddog Williams. You guide him through 8 quests, beginning in his home. And eventually you try to overcome some evil force in the game, which I'll leave it up to you if you want to discover what that evil force is. Let's show some of the beginning aspects of the gameplay, and then we'll discuss in more detail. You have been sent to the Marinor as a mentor and friend to Maddog Williams, and here's the game. A lot of reading text. It's not voice acted at all, so this is a classic game of the old LucasArts variety with the text parser. It has some aspects that are comedic. Like here, the sudden splash of ice cold water has awakened Maddog from a restful sleep. He wonders why he ever invented that. Alarm clock. The movement similarly, the strange looking kind of movements you'll expect from a game like made of old LucasArts staples. Open, drawer, look. Yeah. And there you go, he drops the vase. So it's of this style, you need to walk around. If you're in this type of game for more of the story aspect, feel free to get a walkthrough. And if you're new to the style of game altogether, this isn't a bad one to get started with. Just make sure you look online for some of the text parser commands so you know what to do. There, we got the sword. Okay, so a lot of reading. The graphics are very primitive. This is 1992. However, by the same token, this is 1992. And Wolfenstein 3D coming out around this time. Catacomb 3D, Ultima Underworld, and some of the later Wizardry and Ultima games, and some LucasArts games, the adventure games this time, more incorporating mouse by default at this point. So yeah, you walk around, you solve the adventures. It is a game where you need to save often since there's a lot of traps here and there you wouldn't otherwise suspect. And some of the graphics are so hard to tell what's even around that you do need to use the look command quite a bit. A lot of reading, so it's not a game for everybody. It's definitely a game that requires a bit of patience. Given you might think, look in cabinet, doors are closed, open, doors, look in cabinet, take mug, take dishes, you really do need to exhaust everything in the environment. Like if you went in here, would you think, oh, I need to take money from the drawer? And why would you do that? Or take money from this box back here? And if you're on the other side of the take money, open box, take money. If you're on the other side of the counter here, oh yeah, and the things on the wall, you can't take those swords or anything, so I wouldn't even bother. Nor can you take any of the weapons laying out, which is a shame because there's such a nice selection of weapons there. You do have some clunky things like this, like open box. Well, I guess you can do it from both sides. But there are parts of the game where you think you can open something from both sides, and you end up having to do one side. So we're going to take Maddog out in the world, show some of the outdoors here, and here's some of the outdoors as he takes a leisurely stroll Oh, he won't kill Elf. Oh, I was going to try to get the mug to the elf. As far as the little musical pieces in the game, they're not bad. They do add to the ambiance of the game. It is quite a classic game here. Somewhere around town there's a little tavern. I guess I went the wrong way, or maybe I need to go straight ahead. It's quite easy to get stuck on stuff that you wouldn't think you would. Uh-oh. I forget how to swing a sword. What's the attack button? Use sword. You have these little sword fighting segments. Oh, here, look at here. We have action combat. It's actually kind of fun, but it is a bit clunky. Doesn't seem like it's really making any difference, but his meter's going down slowly. Maybe one day he will kill this ponytailed freak. He's just jealous he has a ponytail and not a full beard, I guess. He's not manly enough to sport the pink tank top. Somewhere around there's a tavern. I remember that. I think I was supposed to walk straight ahead. So, once I kill this guy, I'm going to end the gameplay there and discuss the positives and negatives of this game, and then give it a general category. And if you watch any of my reviews, I have the reviews in order from best to worst game. So if you want to know what's highest rated, just start at the top and then work your way down. And one day there we go. He has nothing left. Finally. look. Look at pirate. Search pirate. Nothing of value, whatever. It's time to go back home to the antique shop. There's Pete's Pub. It is kind of nice how you can see in the background where he came from in a lot of spots. Now this game is a bit on the short side, but if you don't know what you're doing, it will take a while. It'll give you a few nights of enjoyment. Buy beer. Apparently that's his favorite. There we go. Well, let's stand up. Oh. Let's see, fight mode. If you press F7, you see your inventory, which is listed cup and sword. Oh, he won't play cards. Oh, I guess he won't sit down here. There's a lot of options you can't really take advantage of in this game. That's not uncommon for games of this time. So there we go, finish with a score of 11 and go back to discussing the game. This is a bit of a, as far as difficulty, I guess first off we'll mention this game's also available on Amiga and Atari ST, and this review covers all three games, even though I'm focusing on the MS-DOS version. The rating does apply to all three, given the differences are minimal as far as what the resulting score would be. So, and also this game is available for free from the developer's website, so anybody can download it. So it's not going to cost you anything. So it's a game that's pretty intuitive. It's not like many graphical adventures where it's very cryptic, and the difficulty isn't in so much of solving the puzzles. Using wit and skill, in some games it's, instead of being about wit and skill, it's about just blind luck. This one is more about wit and skill, but they are fairly basic. The music helps create a certain ambience to the environment, which makes the game pretty immersive for what it is. And there are a couple of alternative endings. There's some humor. Maddog Williams is a likable character. He's a fun guy. Almost seems like an average guy that got sent on a quest. He's definitely a flawed guy. The combat, it's very basic. If you know what you're doing with this game, you could complete it in less than an hour without too much difficulty. And there's some just general interface issues that are present for games at the time. This is a game that'd be great to see a modern remake or a sequel of. It's quite the enjoyable game. It's one of those simple games from the past that's enjoyable, but it just lacks enough substance to really give it a high score. I do think it's an above average game, but not much more than above average when you look at all the different adventure games you can play nowadays. So as far as the ratings go, I'm going to put it in the average range, and it's going to be in the higher end of that average range. Somewhere around, I'll put it somewhere around Gex and Twisted Metal 2, probably in between those two games. Like I said, it's a fun graphical adventure. If you enjoy graphic adventures, especially ones with text parsers, this is a fun, quick game you can knock out rather quickly. Doesn't cost you anything since it's free, and is quite easy to get up and running on DOSBox. It's a Amiga and Atari ST Classic as well, so if you want to get into some of the games on those platforms, it'd be a nice little title to pick up. So, it's an above average graphical adventure. Definitely worth checking out if you're into the genre, and it might be worth a look if you're brand new to the genre. But as far as people that are hardcore graphical adventure gamers, it's likely a bit short, quite a bit short in fact, and lacks the difficulty expected from such a title to really be a true classic. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.